Hey everybody, it's Zay here from the Zaybytes YouTube channel. Before we start the video though, let's go fast fetch because fast fetching is absolutely mandatory. Alright, so a lot of you guys have been asking me what apps I use on my workflow to make it faster. So a lot of the apps that I use are open source apps. I think about 85 to 90% of the apps that I use are open source. So the thing is, I already made a video about this about a month ago, but things have changed since that video and I ditched some apps and I switched to better ones and I listened to you guys' suggestions. Okay, so I set up a tier list for you guys right here. We're going to be going over these one by one. I mean, there's quite a lot here, so I think this is going to be a pretty long video. Alright, for the OS, well, I think you guys might have guessed it already. We're using Linux. I've been using Linux for the past almost 4 or 5 months. Like, the main difference here is like the OS that I use. I'm still using Arch Linux Hyprland on my MacBook that I use to make videos, but on my laptop that I use for my real life shenanigans, work, studying, I use a setup with Fedora and KDE. Why KDE Plasma, you may ask? Because like I don't feel like setting up a window manager and I don't feel like customizing it, you know? So I just use KDE Plasma. I have a Dell Inspiron N4050, which I'm gonna install Gen 2 pretty soon. Right now it has no OS because I just wiped the disk. And I want to either go with i3 Window Manager or DWM. My last laptop that I have is an Asus EeePC. It's like a really old laptop my aunt gave me. It has Antix Linux and I themed it like Windows 95, but the screen is almost broken though. Also, like, I don't know if this is looking good for Linux, but Linux distributions are beginning to block Brazil access. I already made a video covering about the age verification issues and privacy. I think it just keeps on getting worse and worse. And as of right now, open source software isn't really in a good spot. All we can do right now is just hope for the best, I guess. But anyways, now for the browser. So on my last video where I showcased what I used 3 browsers back then. I used Zen Browser, Helium, and LibreWolf. After careful consideration, I actually picked LibreWolf. If you've been watching my videos, I think you probably know that I use LibreWolf. So LibreWolf is a customized version of Firefox focused on privacy, security, and freedom. However, LibreWolf is not affiliated with Mozilla. Mozilla is the creator of Firefox. So LibreWolf is free, of course, because it's open source. We have the source code right here. You can click it. Oh, and the website, if you don't like light mode, up here, you can click this and it becomes dark mode. Oh, you guys might be saying there's also this browser called Brave. Yeah, Brave is a good browser, actually. I've used Brave from 2020 up until 2023. Anyways, this is the source code of LibreWolf. It's in codeberg.org. Okay, so on the documentation website, on the left, they have this. We're currently on the frequently asked questions. They also have recommended add-on. uBlock Origin is actually installed by default, which is one of the best ad blockers. Password managers, they recommend Bitwarden and KeePassXC. I myself use only 2 extensions, really. I use uBlock Origin because it's pre-installed, and I also use Bitwarden. LibreWolf supports Firefox extensions, themes, and also plugins. As you can see, I have a few Firefox themes installed from the Mozilla add-on store. There's also vertical tabs on this browser, and vertical tabs for me is a big deal, to be honest. You can just right-click up here and then turn on vertical tabs. My LibreWolf setup's pretty simple. I just have this wallpaper, which is like an ASCII art of a cat. Alright, now it's time for the code/text editor. So in my last video, I was using 2 code editors. I was using Neovim and Zcode, but I actually ditched Zcode. Yeah, now I'm actually only using Neovim. Why, you may ask? Because 1, I can just run it on the terminal, and I find that using Neovim is actually a lot faster than using GUI code/text editors. If you just use normal Neovim without a distro and plugins, it can feel a bit bare bones. It feels like it has some missing features, but if you use a Neovim plugins or distro, you're good. I use LazyVim. Personally, this is like the one that requires almost 0 setup. If you're really good at it, your hands don't move from the middle of your keyboard. I'm not a Neovim pro. I'm nowhere near that. I'm still learning Neovim every single day. Compared to like a month ago in this video, I was still using my mouse, but now I don't use my mouse at all. I can yap all day on why I like Neovim. Let's just move on to the next one. So for the Notes app, I'm still using this Notes app called Logsec. Now, I've tested other Notes app like AppFlowy, Obsidian, Joplin. I always come back to Logsec. I don't know why. Like, I just think this is one of the best note editors for me. I have journals here. This is the journal for today. Make a video. Just do it, bruh. So yesterday I took a shower. I worked on Zayfetch, but I missed like a day on March 24th because like that was my lazy day. I was doing nothing here. This is like the last video that I made. Yeah, I take notes. You can see on my recent, I'm still learning Rust. As you can see, I'm learning Rust almost every single day. I have my journal so you guys can't see what's inside of there. It's really sussy. Schedules and stuff. Like, I organize my schedules almost daily. Alright, so whiteboard. This is actually the whiteboard that I use for videos. Very solid Notes app. Supports lots of themes from the plugin store. A bunch of themes that you can install here. But the one I'm currently using is the Rosepine theme. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention they have lots of plugins. Like there's literally so many plugins you can install here. So on the settings here, you can either set your custom keybinds or memorize the default keybinds. And here you can see your installed plugins. I only have one. Yeah, very good notes app, very solid in my opinion. I highly recommend this if you like looks and functionality, because it looks really good and it functions very well. Okay, now it's time for the photo editor. I was using GIMP before this, but you guys were telling me that Krita is actually a way better photo editor. So around 10 days ago, I actually switched to Krita. I made this on Krita, this, and also this. The rest here I made on GIMP. Okay, so this is how Krita looks like. I can't believe the app is 25 years. Okay, so how I get my background color for my thumbnails is like I just do Hyper Picker, which is like a color picker for Hyprland. I just hover into my video like this. So now I just copy the color and I go to Krita and I just insert the color code. Okay. And what I just do for my thumbnails is I either insert like a text over here. For my font, I use JetBrains Mono. It's like my favorite font. Okay, so yeah, this is usually what I do for a thumbnail. Today's video though, I want to do something different. All right, let's go to layer and then let's go to new. Add fill layer. I want to do black thumbnail today. I'm also going to put a Linux penguin to get more views. So it's actually kind of similar to Photoshop if I want to add like an outline or a drop shadow. So on the right here, we can right click the layer and then layer style. Over here, we can add drop shadow, inner glow, outer glow, just like Photoshop. This can be a pretty powerful photo editor. And let's say you have no idea what you're doing. They also have help on the top here. They have Krita handbook. You can press F1 for that. It actually sends you to this website, docs.krita.org. So yeah, that was my photo editor. Now it's time for my video editor. I actually use Blender for my video editor. Not only Blender is good for 3D modeling, it's actually a very capable video editor. For this, I was using this video editor called Kdenlive. It was very good as well. So when you open Blender, we have video editing right here. You can click on it. And the video editor is actually very capable. So I think I was using Kdenlive for a month. From this video up until, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this one. About 3 weeks ago in this video up until now, I switched to Blender. Okay, but if I edit my video while recording, it's gonna lag. I don't really edit my video with this laptop because, well, this laptop is freaking shit. So, you know, on my videos, I don't really do too much. What I just usually do is I just cut up parts where I'm silent and also do smooth zooms. I'm currently still reading this. I'm still getting used to Blender. I'm not like a pro in Blender at all. I'm still trying to get used to it. It's more than enough for what I do. Usually I just do 2560 by 1440, which is 1440p, because if I don't set it to 1440p, YouTube will downscale it really heavily and the quality will be really bad. And if we scroll down, you can set the FPS. I usually just record at 30 FPS, it's already fine. And then down here, video codec, I just use H.264. Anyways, that was my video editor. Now it's time for my screen recorder. I actually use OBS Studio for my screen recorder. So let's just get started with my microphone settings, I guess. So over here, we have the microphone. If I right click this and hit on filters, I only have two settings here, gain and noise suppression. This is really all I need. So for my recording settings, I just use the simple output mode with hybrid MP4, hardware QSV. Alright, so for my app launcher, I use this thing called Rofi. I think I already showed you guys this in the video. But yeah, I'm not done with configuring the Rofi yet. It's not done. I haven't really had the time to configure it just yet, but I'm going to configure it pretty soon. So to configure Rofi, it's config Rofi and then config.rossi. You can either use one file or you can use another separate file for the theme. I use two files. My theme name is Tokyo. Now coding in Rossi is not that hard. It's actually kind of similar to CSS if you're familiar with it. If you're a beginner, if you're a complete beginner, what I recommend doing is just copying other people's dot files and learning from there. Okay, so now for my video player, I use MPV, which is this. I've used a lot of video players like VLC, SM player, but for me, the most comfortable one is MPV. I don't know why, but I just really like this one. Like, let me just play a video for you guys. This is how the video player looks like. It looks very clean. And I just really like it. Dude, no wonder I had this feeling I was forgetting something. So for the terminal, I'm using this terminal called Kitty. So Kitty is like very customizable and it runs very well. I think it's like GPU accelerated as well. Oh, and if you're wondering what theme I'm using, the theme I'm using is Wizzy Muted. I have my background opacity set to 0.8. My font is JetBrains Mono. My font size is 15.